when you're going through a difficult time, right, you go through a range of emotions. And in that moment, I had just gotten a really difficult 9-page email.
I'm the girl that wants to know.
Really angry, horrible note.
What?
What's in it? What did it say?
Just finances, and I'm gonna stop paying this, and you're gonna be liable for this. And
Where
so,
are we going with this?
Honey, that's a divorce.
I thought we were trying to take a little separation.
Right, that's not a separation.
it wasn't just blindsided. It was like, who are you? Who is this person? You know, you start to question everything. When we agreed to separate, it was, let's do this amicably. Let's work on things with a therapist and figure out what we both need and what we both want. To that. And I don't know what he's capable of. I don't know what he's gonna do. He had mentioned things in there that I would never in a million years believe would come out of his mouth. And that is scary shit. And you think, holy shit, that means anything is possible. What do I have ahead of me?
Right.
And when you're already in the dark and then you actually can get to a place where you think the absolute worst, that is a mother effing scary AF place to be. And it was just like, is he a good father? No.
I think he's a very good father. Am I correct?
Wrong.
Well.
See, I thought you were going to say yes.
I would have ordinarily. Protecting him, I would. Do I think PK is a bad father? No, not at all. Do I think he's a good father? Yes, I do. Truly. He's not the most hands-on father, he's not, but a good father, you know, there's many different ways to be a good father. And I feel very lucky that my kids have PK as their father. In that moment, it's what came out of my mouth, and it's how I felt, because for me, everything that I do and the decisions that I make, and even in our separation, there is never a moment that I don't consider what's best for the kids. But, you know, it's one of those things, if I'm honest, that I didn't feel great about the next day.
Was that the first time that you'd ever received an email like that?
Oh, God, yes. I had never received a threatening email like that ever by PK. I have received bitter, threatening, you know, in the heat of the moment, texts and emails, you know, when we've fought. Never like this. Finances, we've had conversations about it. Custody, no. Never these kinds of threats.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway from this?
My instincts are usually right.
You have to protect yourself. If you don't make these decisions, life will make it for you.
Yes. He will make it for you.
He will make it for you.
Yes. Don't get to the place of being desperate. Desperation breeds no good strategy, girl.
Oh, hell
That's what
no.
I've heard in business. I still feel the same way.
She's absolutely right.
I don't know, you know, why she would wait.
Yep.
It's like, you know, believe them the first time.
Yeah. Yes.
There's no need for a second time.
Yes.
The first time they threaten, believe them.
I was like, wait, you cannot say that about your grandchild.
And I love your grandchildren. Very smart, very sweet kids.
They are smart. James is kind of weird, but smart.
What are you doing?
And then I felt like I had to help her out, and I was like, oh, I got a weird one, too. I got a weird one, too.
I know, I've seen it.
Oh! I'm like, what am I doing?
And you're like, which one of my kids am I going to throw under the bus?
Throw under the
Sophie's
bus?
voice.
Garcelle, you're just saying that so that she feels better about her comment. But guess what? Reba was not worried about that comment, I promise you.
I brought it up at Thanksgiving. I was like, you know, you have to remember you did call James the weird one.
In front of James?
Yeah. And he kind of looked at her. And she goes, well, James, you are weird.
Oh, well.
So, you know, she's going to stand by what she says.
Yeah, she is.
James is very creative.
James is his own person. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's going to do what he's going to do. And maybe she thinks that's weird, but she does the same thing. So
James is also really blunt, just like your mom. So maybe she recognized a little of herself in him.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, listen, Aren't we all a little weird? Whatever.
Are we
we're all a
pointing?
little weird.
Yes.
I think all of us.
Okay, we're playing the pointing game.
I was there.
Yes. I think we're all actually normal. I think that's the problem. We're so normal.
I think we're so normal, we're weird.
Okay, I think we're delusional because we all think that we're perfectly normal.
Oh, no, we're not normal.
I remember I went home with not my boyfriend now, who's wonderful, but my old boyfriend, and I said, I visited my family, and I said, my sisters, they're all so childlike, and he goes, mm-hmm. And I go, what? No, not me. And he's like, mm-hmm. You never know how other people see you.
That's right.
Yeah. When you're going through it, divorce, you're worried about yourself. Like, am I okay? Because I hadn't worked in 17 years. And I had this panicking moment because I didn't know what he was going to do. He's capable of doing a lot of things. Mm-hmm. He did the right thing in the end, but I just got nervous. And so for my mother, she was worried about herself.
Her first question was, well, who's going to pay for this? Like the car, the house, the everything. That was hurtful.
That's a mom making sure you're going to be okay, that it's not necessarily negative.
It was about her.
It was about her.
My house in Augusta, that was joint property. And she lives in the house behind the house.
Right.
And, you know, everything, you know, we kind of take care of her. I'm like, well, can we just deal with can we do me first? Or, you know, we'll get to you, Reba, but let's do me first. And so it was a bit hurtful for me.
I can see where Sutton would be hurt by that, but I think there was a lot more to that comment. I think that Reba probably spent a lot of her time worried and afraid, and Sutton never knew that because she masked those feelings. I mean, maybe she's worried about herself too. And she's just being honest about it. I don't know. Where would she go? What if she's like, am I getting kicked out of my house? And what are you gonna do, by the way? I think Reba, her delivery is harsh, but her intention is coming from a good place.
Well, she was probably thinking the same thing when my dad died. Like,
Who's going to pay this?
and now my mother has worked her entire life. But I'm sure there was a point where she must have felt like, well, now who's going to take care of me?
Yeah, I say that every day. I think now that if my mom was alive when everything went down with me and Mike, she would probably hope that I would look the other way, just because it's like, well, you got these 2 babies and you're gonna be by yourself.
Right.
And I think that's old school thinking.
She was very indifferent during my divorce. I think that she and Christian were very close. In a way, it was like a PK Cowell thing with my mom and Christian. They kept talking. And I was like, why are you talking to him?
Right.
She liked to call him and talk to him about what she had read in the New York Times
Right, but you wanted her to be loyal to you,
Right.
like
to a
Dorit
fault,
wants.
because they could talk, and I think that's probably when they became even closer. But my dad and I were really close, so then Mom and Christian would talk and do their high-thinking things, and Daddy and I would just talk about food and how to make, you know, cake and pie. And I don't know if my mom and Christian talk anymore. I had a long discussion with her when I found out that they were. I was like, you're hurting my feelings.
It's just loyalty.
It almost feels like she's choosing Christian over you. I mean, I'm sure she doesn't see it that way, but that's
how it feels.
Yeah.
It's how it feels. I was like, do you not understand that this is hurting me?
Yeah.
But I think she's gotten it. I think they don't talk anymore, I think.
Sutton decided to take a trip to Augusta and invited Garcelle and Kyle along for emotional support, leaving the rest of you ladies behind.
Did you say the
Hills.
lesser of us? Is that
The
what you almost
rest.
said? Woo! Did you catch that? All right, then.
This is very emotional for me. And it's why I didn't want, like, all the girls to come.
Sure, of course.
Because God knows, we don't
No,
need...
that's scarier than Reba.
I needed it to be calm.
But she was on the trip.
Oh,
I mean,
damn.
if the broom fits.
While I was touched by Sutton wanting me to be there in Augusta, and I understand her wanting it to be a small group, but I first thought of Erica because Erica's from Georgia.
Sorry, Erica. I mean, When do you ever go to Georgia?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought that she'd be hurt because she also feels that she's in a much better place with both of them.
Erica called Kyle while we were in Augusta, I think.
I don't know.
And gave Kyle like an update. They went to dinner at Kathy's house or something. And said that she was kind of offended that she wasn't invited. But I immediately addressed it with Erica. I said, look, it was a big trip for me. And, you know, we're friends, but this was it was a bigger trip. This was not about bringing along someone that I've just started to trust. I wanted people that I trusted there. That's all. And Jennifer was out of town, for real.
I was going to go, and then
Yes,
they changed the date of the trip.
We changed the date of the trip, so you couldn't come.
I had to go to
'Cause
Italy.
Jennifer has been to Augusta, and she's met
Yes,
my mother.
I
and-
love your mom.
Yes, so she's experienced it. Dorit is at my throat, so why would I bring her? I wouldn't. And Boz, I'm just getting to really know, and it doesn't seem like it's a good match to bring to Augusta, because I really wanted to talk to my mother about something very serious, and I didn't want a bunch of drama that way, because there was going to be enough drama in my head with my mother.
Yeah.
Look, my position has always been that she can invite whomever she wants to that type of trip because she was going for very painful reasons, very personal reasons. Now, aside from the fact that she'd asked us all to be sisters and all of us to share all kind of information, I understand when you're like, hey, look, I can't take the whole group, but then my feeling is that then you should just communicate that.
We didn't find out until Kathy told us. Have you caught up with Kyle?
You know, she's busy, and I guess they left today, Sutton and Garcelle.
They went to Augusta.
I didn't even know.
I'd rather that somebody said to my face that I'm negative energy. Go ahead and say it.
I dare you.
Without saying it, I think it's cowardly.
Absolutely.
I think her not saying anything up front and everyone finding out later probably didn't, you know, probably wasn't the best idea. But I didn't think it was, you know, a trip that had to be everybody. It's not always going to be.
The whole group doesn't move en masse like a school of fish.
No, we are not a school of fish.